myself to stream here, and welcome Saturday morning. So I'm a little behind on tutorials, and let's go ahead and mute this end of my camera. There we go. But I know I had shown you a project that I was hopefully going to have started this week, and I need to finish it. It's the one I did for back to school. Okay, I am going to be doing this with you. I just didn't get it done as soon as I'd hoped because I had some requests for some old videos that have been basically lost. I had done them live when I was doing things for another paper company, and those videos are now, because they've kind of deleted their site, have been lost. So I'm redoing them because I've had requests. So I thought I'll pop on today. Hopefully we won't have any interruptions. We've got a lot of building going on outside. We're getting the store. It's kind of now moving fast. It's been kind of really slow. And now everything's hitting. We've got to get the countertops made, which we're doing outside. The guys are. And you might hear some noise. Hopefully I'll get through this without having to mute. But if I go silent, it just means I went on mute. But I know our sweet Annette was looking for this tutorial. I have two K-cup holder tutorials, and I will go ahead. Well, hello, and I will do this one first. I'll do another one, the other one, which is a square box, because that one too was before I did dual streaming, and so I'm gonna have to redo them because I don't want them lost. This is just the sample. I had to go read through it and make it. Now this, okay. You've been seeing a lot of our new paper collections. The beautiful thing about Country Craft Creations is my paper collections don't just end because 1 year ends. There's a lot of new customers, and these are still available. This is Autumn Orchard from last year. Even though if you're showing that it may be out of stock, don't worry. It's printing. We're just getting the new stuff printed. Then I go back because the printer's just up the street. And I don't print anywhere but in the USA, right here at home, so that we have it. They're just right now, it's kind of delayed because we got so many fun collections coming out. But I love Autumn Orchard. And then our little boxes pop open, and these were sized. I don't have my cake. Should have brought down a K-cup. K-cups will fit in here. So whether it's the hot chocolate, the coffee, whatever you want. And I know Annette teaches seniors. And so I thought, oh, let me pop on here. Let's get this done first before we go on to another big project, because also this is just going to also be fun if you're giving teacher gifts. But I want you to look in that back window. Who do you see in there? Oh, this was my very first fall paper with our illustrators and the talented designers who took my dreams and put them on the papers for us. Really, really love Autumn Orchard, even though we've got a beautiful new one coming out. And I believe I did show that. Can't remember. Did I show that, Tanya? So anyway, we're going to be creating this. I've done a lot of it beforehand so that we don't have to wait. Now, this was with the die. I'm not going to do this part. I'm going to actually just be hand cutting it like we did on our milk crate. But once you do cut this, you can use a clip, you can use a bow, you can tie it. The original one had 2 hole punches, and I took ribbon through it. Did I show the new fall paper on the last video? If I didn't, I will show it at the end. So I did, I jumped ahead and got 3 boxes down. I'm going to do one with you because it would be a very time consuming video, and we need 4 boxes. Right now, these 2 are drying. And if you've seen me make the Advent box tutorials for Christmas, then you want rubber bands to hold them together. Like this one's dry, so it'll make it quicker. Yes, fall breeze. So we're going to start with the measurements, which I did post above, but you're going to want 4 pieces. These are going to be your 4 boxes. Oh, okay. I can show it. I'd love to show it. Yes, I love showing you guys. So this is 8.5 by 6, and I want you to cut 4 of these. I'm only going to create one with you. I did pre-score, so no mistakes here. Then you're going to want to cut 2 that are 4.5 by 10 inches. These we will be putting together to create the box that goes around our boxes, the gift part. So these are 2 4.5 by 10, 4 6 by 8.5. Okay. Then you will cut these squares. So super easy. This is just, oh, I didn't do the bottom yet. And I do the bottom. I do it even though we're going to cover it up because it adds strength. And it's just a piece of paper that I know I used scraps from last year. These are 1 7/8 by 1 7/8. And I want to say, I don't know if Jennifer, our designers out there, but if you are Jennifer and you pop on, we've worn your son out, and I apologize, but he does, he looks like he's been a little farm boy when you get him back. We've had a lot of fun with him. We've had our little boy for a few days. So let's get going. You're going to score all 4 of your boxes the exact same way. Hello, Rhonda. You're going to score this 6 by 8.5 inch piece of cardstock, and you're going to put the 8.5 across the top, and we want to score it 1/2 inch, 2.5 inches. I'll just score again with you. 4.5 inches, 6.5 inches. Once again, 1/2, 2.5, 4.5, and 6.5. Let's turn now to the 6-inch side. So that is across the top of your scoreboard, and let's score 1/2 inch, 2.5 inches, and 4.5 inches. He was Tiffany, and he was finding all of the shooting stars for us last night. So it was a lot of fun. My other grandson and then the twin granddaughters, you'll saw the teenage girls. They're the ones that want to be here the most. So we're going to burnish all of our score lines. And this is a box. So if you've done boxes with me, you want to burnish it. So see that piece is laying flat. Really burnish it. You want a square box. You want a nice tight square box. We'll be burnishing it again after we put the matting on. Let's just go ahead. I know that Wilbur and Homer are going to miss having him here, but I'll tell you, his name's Nick, and we have a Nick too. He's very intelligent. He's a very smart young man. And my grandson, Wyatt, is like that. So they do good. I mean, here they are, a 9-year-old and a 12-year-old, and their interest is the Weather Channel. So they have a lot of good things together. But they also, oh my gosh, they do so good. They want to be together. And Wyatt has gotten more patience as he's gotten older. He was a little impatient with him when we went camping once. But now it's kind of like they love being with each other because they're kind of on the same level when it comes to geographical channels and stuff. So they're okay when they're playing together, but they also like to be like sitting alone and doing their own thing. They get along. They're getting along really well. Kind of like, I wish adults would. They don't really worry about what each other's doing, and then they kind of meet up in the middle. They've been really cute to watch together. 1/2 inches to my right. I want this at the top. This is going to become our little flaps on our box. We only need one of them, but we'll get to there. You'll see why cutting our little box, doing 4 at a time. It's better just to get them done and do one with you. you have 3 squares. Smallest is at the bottom. You'll see it's not quite as wide as your top ones. We want to keep this tab right here. Let me go ahead and turn this down. So we're going to get rid of, should have silenced. We're going to get rid of this little bottom one here and these 2 up here. This is the one you want to keep. This is what I call my connecting tab. This is what's going to turn this into a box. I just angled. Oh, Chris, does it? Oh, you know why? That's the matting. Why does it says 4 and it should be 4.5 by 10. When you cut your paper, 4.5 by 10. I'm sorry, that is the matting size. And I don't think I can go back and fix that right now. Hold on. I can't unless I leave the studio. Okay, so big note when cutting your slices here. I'm going to put this up from Chris. These are 4.5. I'm sorry. You've got a matting piece in there. It's 4 1/8. Oh, so sorry. 4.5. And I'll fix it right after. Okay, you've got a bump from your scoring. Just cut to the inside of it so we can get rid of it. Then let's cut out this long one and this little one at the top. This little 1/2 inch by 1/2 inch square. Don't worry about cutting straight. We're going to be cleaning things up. And I'll set this here for a moment so you can see what this looks like. This row is where you want your tab. Good morning. And we all got to start the day with Sally. I thought that was pretty nice. These guys become the bottom of our box. So I'm going to put them at the top with my 1/2 inch towards me. And let's just angle our end. And I'm going to angle this end, and we're going to get them taken care of here. I just fold it in half. You can fold it in half. I'll show you both ways. But I've learned over the years, when you fold it in half, you just get her done. If you don't like doing it that way, then go ahead and cut at an angle to the left and a slight angle to the right. Either way, you're going to get the same finish. The tops. Right now, I just want you angle the ends. We are getting rid of some of them, but it's better to do these all consistent right this moment, all the same, and just the 1/2 inch. Don't cut down yet, okay? Because we don't want these inner pieces angled. We just want the top tabs, even though we're going to get rid of most of this. Trust me, you'll get mixed up if we don't do them all the same to begin with. No, you may not get mixed up. The way I tell you to do it will definitely confuse the heck out of you. So let's do everything the same. Now we're going to cut right down the center on that score line bump, and we're not even going to worry about getting rid of any of it, because you know I like to clean up my edges. We will be cleaning up the edges, but not yet. Okay. So we have this completely open. And now I want you to push. I have the tab towards my body here. Push that one down, that one, and then straighten it up if you need to. That's going to become this. This one we're going to leave here. I'm going to show you something. Now your third one, push that one back. I am going to burnish it, but we're going to cut this off. Okay. So I'm going to push my second tab, my end tab to the inside, and I'm going to completely just cut this off along my score line. This is what we are left with. I'm going to push that one back again. I'm going to open my scoreboard. 4 3/4. I'm going to score right into those two. We don't need this and we don't need this. So I'm going to cut them off right at my score line. Or you can put it in your cutter, either way. So we cut those off. Do not need them. This is what you're left with. Now we can clean them up by angling our ends. So just fold it into itself so you have that clean line to follow. And you may have to fold some tabs back to get them out of the way. So you can see that one sticks way over, which now I can completely clean up. And I can clean up if I left any of my score line. Like I said, you'll have to start, excuse me, you'll have to start folding this. There we go. So you can get to your edges. So let me let you look at that for a moment. Homer must be upstairs with the boys because I have 2 beagles down here snoring, but no Homer. And let's clean that up. Okay. That is now ready to be turned into a box. Now we want to mat most of this right this minute flat. And in the cutting part, I put down that you want to have 28 1 7/8 by 1 7/8 squares. And each box takes 6. So we do the sides while it's nice and flat. We'll do the bottom. Even though we're going to glue this down, it gives it that added strength. And then I add 1 to the inside. I don't do any matting. You can, but that is a lot of work. It is a lot of work just to give away. Well, you know, I was going to go live on Thursday, so I'm just a little late, Alice, and I didn't really give a time for today. So I just thought, you know what? I got a moment. It's kind of quiet. I can hear the sounders going up stairs because they're working on the table for the checkout island for the store. I thought I'd pop on here. So 28 1 7/8 by 1 7/8 to complete your 4 boxes. Again, get those scraps out. And I'm using Autumn Orchard. Still one of my favorites. Extremely, I know it's extremely colorful. And I'm using the 8 by 8. Now with the 8 by 8 on this project, I'll tell you what, it does take like 3, 6, 9 sheets. So with the 12 by 12, it will go further, but you will have bigger graphics. So whichever you prefer. But it does take like 9 sheets of your 8 by 8. Push that down because we're gonna have some glue squishing out here soon. Hi, Dina. We are remaking an older project that the video's been lost, and it's the K-cup holder for gift giving. So we're recreating the K-cup holder with the boxes. And we're spilling our water on our desktop. Let's get that away from the electronics really quick. I don't like this mug for that reason. But all is safe. We're good. We're good. Oops. Let me move the water. Now, this is the lid. Oh, one thing else I forgot to mention. If you paper on the boxes, this one, I did use the plaid. Like I said, you don't really see it. And then I used the backside with the graphics because it is directional. Remember, you need to kind of use, if it's going to be a directional paper, you kind of got to watch that. The backside is the trees from Autumn Orchard. Loved it. So I decided to use the apples because I'm not really worried about the directional of my paper that way. So we got the apples going in all directions, and I didn't ink my papers. A lot of times on projects like this, you don't see me ink them because I'm giving them usually as a gift. And you know, we've talked about this before. Not everybody cherishes handmade gifts, so they're going to go in the garbage. I'm not going to do that extent of work. But it also depends on the person it's going to. Okay. Then we need to go back through. And I am going to reburnish. Remember, it's a box. After you mat and you flattened it, you do want to reshape it. It's no different than a bow. When you're making bows, you've got to reshape them. Well, I love this time of year, Chris, because this is when all these projects, I'm going to be going back through and do some of these, especially the newer ones haven't seen before the other, because the videos was before I did the dual streaming, which enabled me to save my projects. There was some you guys don't have any access to because they've closed their business and their Facebook page. So I will be redoing these, and I'll just be popping in here and there so we can get them done so that we now have the videos, because I don't want to lose my projects. This tab is now what is going to connect our box. Add your adhesive. We're going to fold it in the middle, and it will line right up to that edge. You may have to move it just a little. No problem if you do. And I do have Autumn Orchard still on the website at countrycraftcreations.com. And I do have Midnight Ride that Sally was showing, but it does show sold out right now. It's going to reprint after all the new lines for this fall, and I will be showing you those again in this video for those of you that missed it. And let's go ahead and open our box to make sure we didn't get too much glue inside of there. And now I do push these tabs. This is going to be, as you can see, what's going to close our box. I'm going to open them up, see, so I can lay this flat. because we want to now close our box. You want to keep it somewhat square. I'm just going to push that down, and I don't use a lot of adhesive. You'll see why. So just a line across the top. We're going to set it down for a second. I didn't really angle that, did I? Push it down. Now on this one, I will go ahead and do a more complete coverage. And you could use your glue bottle. Okay. Or I've shown this many times. Pat made it for me. I do need to change it's just a 1-inch dowel. This one is 7 inches long. Cut it to however length you want. And furniture pads on the bottom. And look at this. Pretty cool, huh? Yeah. Luna made this for a gift for me years ago, and it's one of the best gifts I've ever had. Because I love to make boxes, and this makes it so easy. This piece is going to go down in the bottom. Again, it's 1 7/8 by 1 7/8. And I told you wrong. It's 7 squares per box. That's why we need 28. Sorry. I do put it on the bottom. You could skip the bottom if you don't have that extra piece of paper. Totally up to you, because we are going to glue it down, but it just adds a little strength. Now, this is also a good size box. Jennifer, I think, made a box this size for her wreath advent calendar. Jen Palmer on our design team. And so these boxes, you're going to want to keep this tutorial, because these are going to be handy for just for that advent. They're great advent boxes. Because Jan took them, she put hers in a circle. And her tutorial's on her Facebook page. I mean, her YouTube from last year. So she created a circle with these boxes. And you can go see how she did it with the advent boxes. So these boxes are going to be great for any size. Let's glue these together. These guys I did glue together. And I want to have my tabs facing out. It don't matter right now, just so they're going the same direction. Rubber band really helps. And then just in the pattern paper, because it's going to ooze out the sides, so don't worry about, stay in the center here. I'm just going to hold them for a minute, let them kind of, well, hopefully they'll catch, but they're not. So let's go ahead and just rubber band them. Don't worry about the lids right this moment. They'll stay down in a moment. Make sure we got things straight. Okay. We're going to let those dry for a second. Then I will be connecting them together. But I want to let those, these are dry, these are not. So let's let those grab a hold. And so you need to make a total of 4 boxes for this one. Okay, let's move on to, kind of did a size change, but I'm going to show you. So it's 4.5 by 10. Let's go ahead and do the scoring. Kind of undecided on this, but we're going to work through it. You're going to do your first score line at 4 3/4, and it's, don't really score it. Just do a light score, or you could even draw a pencil mark across. I just do the score. if you want to do more of a pencil, which I can do this so that I can show you. We just want to mark them at 3/4. And then we want to score it 2.5 and 4.5. And the same thing again. You can either just do a light score mark so you can see it. I'm going to white gel pen it so you can see it better with me. And I'm going to score again at 2.5 and 4.5. And before we get to putting this all together, what I want to do is I am going to mat front and back so that, number one, you could do one of two things. This I just did. Oh, no, I did this with my circle punch right here. Forgot. This is with the thick because it went through all the layers. And you can punch it out like that. Go the right direction here. Then we could tie a string, or you can use one of those clips. I wouldn't use this one, it's too big, but a smaller one. And then you could decorate your clip and have streamers hanging down. Or you could, on the original one, I did not punch the hole. I took my hole punch and punched holes here and brought the ribbon through and tied it. So you can do a lot of different things. This one, I'm just going to cut like we did for the milk cartons with the slit to hold on to it. And so we want to mat all layers. This is faster. And I got to find my papers. There we go. Okay, so after we were done scoring our big parts here, they're 4.5 by 5.5. We're just going to mat the 4.5 by 5.5 inch sides. So you want 4. And for the inside, I'm going to use, this is one of my favorites too. I love it. And then we've got, look at our, so how cute to make a paper scarecrow, right? Make your paper scarecrow and then dress him in this. So I have 2. These are going to be my inside. Check your directionals. If you're doing directionals, like this side would be directionals, you wouldn't want it upside down. They go this way, so when you lift it up. So do check the directionals of your paper. Then for the outside, I'm going to use the welcome to our, this is going to be a really bright one, but these were scraps. So I just got into my scraps. These are welcome to my pumpkin patch. Or you can use the leaves. Let's go ahead and just glue these down. So they're 4 3/8 by 5 3/8. Oh, somebody's playing. Oh, the boys are playing Frisbee with Homer. That's why he bounces like a bunny out there. It's so cute. And it's wonderful. It's raining. It's been raining on and off. Finally in Utah, we need the rain. But so it's cooled it down to 74 today. I'm wearing sleeves. I'm loving it. But it'll be back up in the 90s next week. So enough to water the grass and move on, which is just fine. Now again, directional. These 2 score lines and my white, see these guys are going to intersect right here. So check your directional. Aren't those colors just love them. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Caroline, I know. It's been so hot here, but it's been so nice this week with a little bit cooler temps, but today is like perfect. I mean, perfect. 74. I'll take fall over summer any day. I do like summer. I just don't like the heat. Yeah, I'm like you, no heat. It's a killer. I do too. I love rainy days. Some of the team this morning, like, so what are we working on today? Are we working? We're not working. We're crafting. I will be. No, we're not working today. We got projects to make. It's raining. Are you kidding? That's the prerequisite of it's raining. We need to work. Okay. So what I'm going to do, like I did for the milk cartons, I just decided I want, how I want my handle to be like 3 inches. But this is only 4.5, so that's going to probably be too much. So let's go with the 2.5 by 1. Not going to be very big. And oh, here comes Homer. This is my pattern, is all this is. And I cut mine at 1 by 2.5. And that way too, I can visually see, okay, that's exactly where I want my handle to be. And you want to leave enough at the top. The punch is pretty close. So when you get the punch in there, see, it only leaves about 1/8 of an inch. So it could tear. This will give you a little bit more room. And this is my 1/2 inch spacer piece because I want my handle to be 1/2 inch from the top so that I have some there so it doesn't tear. And this, my 1/2 inch spacer, which you get a set of them. There's a 1/4 inch, a 1/2 inch, a 3/8 of an inch. So it's maybe we will only go 3/8 of an inch. Or is this my 1/4 inch? No, it's my 3/8. So you can see how handy these truly are. Yeah, we only need 3/8 of an inch. That will be fine. Then you can kind of center it. So I'm centering it at the 1 inch so that I've got 1 inch on each side about. Just draw it with our pencil because we're going to cut it out. Or you can use a die. I just don't want to get my machine out right this moment. And I can just draw it across the top. Making sure I have it in the same space. I won't draw this one because I'm going to use this one as my pattern. I'll just use my little spacer. As my guide to cut. Oh, good. Yeah, I use them too. I'm kind of like, yeah, I use them for a lot of things. They're even great. I'm telling you, they're great back scratchers. Now, also, don't be afraid to mark on them because if you need to, a lot of times, I just use my Cricut. I love my Cricut markers. I just mark on it because it'll wash off if I need to know exactly where to stop or start. So I don't mess up. And don't force it out. Just might have to go back over. And yes, the boys are in the house. So if you hear they're above me, and so it's not going to be quiet for long. Man, this is thick with the paper and the artisan. There we go. But now we got a cute little handle. Now let's just put these guys together. Put it down here so I don't get movement. So they match. Oops. So I've already got a mark here, which is good. I can put it right there for my stopper. Really, I don't think this takes much more time than getting out your die, putting it up, getting it together. So your choice. I know I do have some rectangle dies. It would just be a matter of finding them, then getting my machine out. Like Sally was saying this morning, sometimes it's quicker just to do it. I don't know how many of you follow me on my regular Facebook page. I did a video, brought home these pigs from Costco for the dogs. They're squeaking pigs, and they were afraid of them. I'm sending them home with the next child that comes to my house. That's all I can say. I can hear them upstairs. They're no longer afraid. They go around squeaking them in their mouth constantly. So Jennifer, Nick might be bringing home some squeaking pigs for the cat. All I can hear up there is the squeaking pigs. There we go. Now you have a handle. Super easy. Just takes a few minutes. Space your way so I don't lose that one. I use this one all the time, my 1/2 inch. So it stays basically on my desk. Okay, let's go ahead and burnish these score lines. And the only one you don't do is that light one. Because see, it's going to sit. Actually, if you kind of, this will give you a better visual. So this becomes the base for our boxes to sit. Okay, we're going to come back and mat some more, but I want to glue the boxes now together as a full set of 4. And I like to have it so I have 2 opening out this way and this way. If you happen to glue them and you've got them opening in the center, it's fine. It's not going to matter with our little boxes. But now what we want to do is glue them together to make 4. And you'll want your rubber bands. So, and they may not go together at first, but once we get our rubber bands on, they will. And yes, we're going to have to pick them up. There you go. And you'll be able to you'll have time if you use a wet adhesive. Okay, now if it's not like really pulling it together like you want, you really don't want your rubber bands any tighter because you don't want it to squish it. So I'll just lay this down. And if you have one of these heavy dies, okay, I don't think Sally's watching our live. She's trying to make up for what she said earlier. And so she says she loves me, but I'm actually not the witch in that paper this morning. She was hacked. So by Ventura. Okay, you guys, you know Sally. This is hilarious. Anyway, we'll ignore her now. Okay, so I'm going to put this. Oh, let me tell her I am live. I told her that I am live explaining her errors. So if you have something heavy, you just want to set it on there. It can be a brick. These things are as heavy as bricks. If you have a thick die, they work great. So we'll set that aside. That'll dry. And I'm going to continue on now with this outside part only. And we will just do this little piece because the inside, you'll see why we have to fit it to our boxes. When you measure this piece, mine measures to be this is a 2-inch score line. And it's still 4.5, so 2 inches. And this is going to be 1 7/8. You can use, oh, that continued on nicely. We'll use that edge. Just fix this. I didn't cut it very straight. So 1 7/8 by 4 3/8. Well, I am going to ink this bottom edge because I don't know if you can see that. My cutter, it needs a new blade. And I'm going to use a brown to match my brown cardstock. There we go. Hides it perfectly. Ah, my pumpkin patch sign. That was a good cut. I didn't even realize I cut it continuously. Oh, that will never happen again unless I intentionally do it. Okay. Like I said, we're not worried about this yet because we don't know what size it's going to be. But we have a front and a back, and we're going to do the inside also. And, oh, I must have done it on both pieces and didn't even realize it. 1 7/8 by 4 3/8. If you're doing any craft fairs this fall, because I know they're coming back big, how exciting. This would be a really cute gift. Put your hot cocoa K-cups in there. Then make a little bag and a tag and fill it with mini marshmallows. And then you could also put like peppermint pieces and different things like that. Or you could fill the boxes with things like that. It'd be really cute. Pumpkin spice. Don't forget your pumpkin spice. Cinnamon sticks, fun things like that. These are going to be really fun gifts. Okay, we're going to do this inside also, which is 4 3/8 by 1 7/8. Looks like I didn't continue on. Maybe I did. Maybe this one goes here. Let's see what happens. Nope, but that looks pretty good anyway. I just love this paper. I got to make a scarecrow now and dress him for the store. That'll be really cute to put in there. And all this extra matting, I know you're going to say, well, it's glued down. We don't see it. Right. We don't, but it sure does add strength to our project. And it's not flimsy because, see, it does get glued up on the sides. And if you don't reinforce it, it's kind of flimsy. So you're going to have plenty of scraps in your scrapbook life. And I know you guys have bins full of them. They don't even have to match. You could even use and double your plain cardstock and strengthen it that way, because you're not going to see it, but I've got scraps. They'd be in the garbage. Okay, let's see how our boxes are doing. Artisan dries pretty fast. I know that I'm going to go ahead and leave my rubber bands on for a moment while we size this. So you'll want to use, if you've got paper clips, this is going to be best. Paper clips, let me show you, so that you can just pop one on each end. I just use this, my stick, it comes off, it's repositional. And I'm just going to lay that so that I can see both. If you didn't mark yours, you're going to see two score lines, light score lines. I see the two white. So I want to put my box in the center here and see if that's perfect. How well those come together. They come together great. The reason I don't do that, just in case you don't know the sizing of your box, in case you do have to do a little more of an overlap, that 3/4 of an inch gave us lots of room, because maybe your boxes are squished really tight together for some reason. You know, they're handmade, things come out different, and or if you want it to be tighter around your boxes. So this is kind of like the sleeve, and as you'll see, you do have room on each side, and that's why we do mat the bottom. But you can adjust it before you glue these down. And then we've got a cute handle, and I've got some cute twine over there that I'm going to use. So now that I pretty much know where I want my base to be, for me, I've got a little bit of the score line on each side showing. Then I can measure. My bottom becomes 4 1/4, and that's how I knew what size to cut this piece of matting, which is 4 1/8. So just do a dry fit first to make sure, and you will see this on the sides. That's why you want this. Clean that off real quick. Now I'll just add my adhesive. Now see this, the reason you're going to see that. Let me show you. Not a lot, but you're going to see a little bit of it. Just to forewarn you, I should have forewarned you. And it doesn't really erase, but you could ink it. So if you did do that, just ink it a little bit to disguise it if it's going to bother you. But that's why basically I just have you score and not mark. 4 1/8 by 4 3/8. Again, check your directional. And measure. Don't go by my 4 1/8, just in case yours is a little different. Measure that space we created, and you'll see it again when I turn this over. There you go. See our base? And for this one, I'm just using a piece of the plaid that was left over, and there's Wilbur. There's my boy. Can't believe he's going to be 5 years old next month, and Homer will be 1. Yeah, we got a birthday coming up. They were actually born the same month. Homer was born, what, the 7th, and Wilbur was born the 26th. Let's just make sure that's down good. Flip this over. Grab our box. You do want it to be pretty much dry. And again, just check the direction. So see mine open this way and that way. And it doesn't matter. See, this one, they open the same way. It's okay. It doesn't really matter. Or you can have them open here to the outside. I didn't because I don't want these to pop open on the outside, if that makes sense. But they can go any direction that you want them to go. Turn this over, and we're going to glue the bottom. Don't worry, I do have a space there, but you'll see when we smush this together, it will hold it. Okay. Goes on this big piece, so you just want to center it there. And you're going to see some of each side, and this is going to take a minute to dry. So we're going to let that dry for a moment and move that up. And while that's drying, I'm going to grab my twine and show you. Oh, I actually got some other new papers in. Interesting. I forgot about those. So it looks like you're going to see more than. Wow, you're going to get a lot of sneak peeks. Maybe. Well, you know what happened? I can't show you the fall paper because I sent it to Bonnie. Totally forgot. So you can't see that one. But I can show you a different one. I can show you two different ones, actually. My paper's going everywhere. Okay, so I completely forgot that I had to ship those off to Bonnie. Oh. And then I had to ship one of my other small ones to, I had to ship them to Sally because she was threatening me. Okay, we're going to let that dry. And I'm going to give you the first sneak peek, okay? You guys ready? But I have to tell you, we're getting ready to ship out August Craftology box. So if you're wanting to get if you've ever wondered about the Craftology box, our monthly, it's not monthly, it's bi-monthly. It's too stressful to be monthly. I know how many projects you guys got going in the works, so we do bi-monthly. Let's move that up. And this is just the samples. I don't know. Do you guys really want to see? Will it ruin your Christmas? Well, we got a bunch of Christmases coming, just so you know. This one is called, and don't look, we got some misspelling here. We're fixing. This is why we run samples. We've got the Old World Christmas. And it is going to be also our October Craftology box. And so here's the thing. Yes. You really do want sneak peeks, huh? So this is Old World Christmas. So let's take a look while that's drying. And then by the time I get through it, so I won't go too fast. I mean, too slow because I don't want to completely ruin it for you guys. But Old World Christmas is a real fun touch to our old Santas and some of the, just like what you see, Old World Christmas. You got tags, greens. We've got love and joy come to you. A lot of different scenes in this one. I just love this, but you got to remember, this is going to be your Craftology box for October. And here we have a lot of script in there. Lanterns. Fussy cut. Now this one I can just see with Sally. She's going to be cutting these for her mini trees. Yeah. French wording in there. Just Christmas song in the back about friends. We have friends in there in France. So we got Santa up in the snow. And these again, great. These are our card maker. So I love to get some 6x6 in here. These are going to be beautiful fronts to your cards. That snowflake Sally showed today is going to be amazing. Now this one, these will have the same backing as the full sheet. And then here I had to just do the graphics because of that Santa Claus, the little kids. I just love them. Then we have the green plaid. And our cardinal. What's Christmas? We have to have the cardinal for Christmas, right? I'll be home for Christmas. Beautiful for the kitchen. I can just see this cut out cinnamon sticks. Cut these out, put them on gifts. So pretty. There's our Old World Santa, Old World Santa. Look at that green back. Again, fussy cut your poinsettias, heartfelt creations. I have more of the heartfelt creation poinsettia dies coming in. You're going to want them, and you're going to want to start making your flowers because I'll tell you what, there's nothing like coordinating flowers that match your collection. And there's, again, Santa and the angel. And then we have the red and the gold scripts. So that's your first sneak peek, and our boxes should be dry. And again, well, this isn't coming now. We got Halloween and fall coming out first. So I know I gave you sneak peeks, but these are just our samples. And so we have more coming. Okay, now let's get back to our box. So yeah, that's pretty dry with the art glitter glue. Now my sides are going to come up, and I'm going to use my rubber bands again. So right here on our one where we did the 1 7/8 matting, let's go ahead and add our adhesive on both sides. And then while this dries, I'll show you the next one. Okay, let's just go ahead and literally push that up to the sides. And they're short enough. See, when your box opens, you can get the tops open. So I'm going to turn this upside down. Ooh, don't get those out there. We're going to get glue. There we go. Turn this upside down. And again, put my rubber band around here. Don't want it super tight. If you do, it's going to smash your sides. You don't want to really smash them. So if you have to just hold it, that will work too. So let's set that aside and let this finish drying. And then let's take a look. I haven't even opened this next one. I've only seen it in the 8x8 in print. So, and on the screen, of course. So let me open our samples. Let's see what we got here. Well, we got lots of paper, that's for sure. So there's going to be 3 Christmas lines. And don't forget last year's Christmas lines. I'll be showing those again because I'll have them in the store for those of you that will be able to shop local. And so the next one, I showed you Old World Christmas. This is Once Upon a Christmas. You guys ready? Once Upon a Christmas. Okay. You're going to see it with me the first time. I've seen it in print. So Once Upon a Christmas, we have your burgundies, your greens. Now, you're also going to see some return. You may have remembered last year's Christmas. You are going to be able to use a few pieces in here with that. This one has more of it's not a burgundy. I went with the plum and gold. And this one has the tags. I'm changing it up. Actually, on some of my newer papers now, I have a few of these tags, but I'm adding some different things to give you guys some different variants. But a lot of just old fashioned, but I did get a newer Santa right in there for you. So we've got our Old World and our newer Santa, and then we've got black. Oh, thank you, Caroline. Then we have just this beautiful. So can you see? Now, when you're looking straight down on this, it's totally different than this view because I'll tell you what, there's so much depth. So are you kind of seeing the walk in the winter forest here? Do you see my hand following the trail? So you're going to get a lot of different views. It depends on if you're looking back. When I look at the camera, I can actually see the depth of the trees here. It looks totally different than in person. That's what I love about this. So we've got, and that's the beauty too. Look, you get 3. You get 3. Isn't that's incredible. And then on the back. So this, I could definitely see those fire pit nights. Just absolutely gorgeous. Snow falling, maybe even sitting in a hot tub, snow's falling, and you're taking pictures out and around you. Oh, just love it. Just love it. Or maybe you'd like to spend your winter up in the cabin. We got a lot of friends that do, and that's where this came about was we have tons of people go up to the cabins for the winter, which I would love to live in one of those in the winter. I'd love to be in the mountains. So again, you've got your trees. Now this was actually, the trees like this was inspired from being in North Dakota. And the hills, you just see the trees like this for as far as you go. And we've got just the green and gold on the back. So there's a lot of good backgrounds in this one that you can also use with my other papers, and that's the whole idea. You want to be able to use them with other things. So here we have Santa. Great for card makers. And then we have our new Santa. So we have our new Santa and our old Santa. And you get to choose. I've got to close this message box. Okay. Then we have our sleighs and our newsprint. Got to have newsprint. And then we have a gold background. You can use it with this one. And there's Santa flying over the church. And the church, when you look at this, and so I only had one or two emails that said it's blurry, but it's not. It's supposed to be. I did this on, a Dream of Home because it's supposed to look like Santa's watching this in the distance. When you look at this at the camera screen, you're seeing this all pretty clear, but it's because of when you get it, you'll understand. With the eye, just looking at it, you do see more of a dreamy, kind of like there's a filter that goes over the top of this, is what happens to blur it, but it looks so clear on camera. I just love seeing this when it's finally in print. And then the back. We have our Santa, our sleigh, again, a little bit more modern, but with the old, but we have a little bit modern Santa up at the top. Not modern, just not so vintagey. And yes, here it is. The Polar Express, sort of. But that's what we're looking at. The train. Okay, you gotta have this at Christmas. A lot of Christmas papers are missing the train, but not this year. Yes, those are the perfect words, Caroline. A snowy, crystal, cool day. Again, we have more of that plum, not so much burgundy. Our Christmas bird. And some fussy cutting opportunities, just really fun black and white Santas that you can even color in, because I don't have any of my markers, but you're going to see on this Bristol paper, you can color these guys in. So I did that so that you could use them. I like them like this, but you certainly can get those markers out. You've got them right here, and then just cut them out. Same with your candy canes. So maybe you've got some little crafters that like to craft with grandma or mom or aunts. Give this to them and let them color. Okay, you got 3 sheets. Keeps their little hands busy. And they feel like they're crafting right along with you. Or they can make their own cards. So we have just the beautiful Christmas greenery. And again, I did do the same back here, because I figured with you cutting this up, this will give you the opportunity to use this back, because there's a lot of pieces that this will go with. And with the fussy cutting, if you're going to be fussy cutting, then you want to be able to have some of these fun backs to also use. So that is 2 of our Christmas. There will be another one and a winter one. This one is Once Upon a Christmas. And if you are going to be joining us for the December virtual retreat, you'll get to use this along with our designers. And also, we have something fun coming up very soon. I'll be announcing it pretty soon with one of our designers, because you'll be able to use smaller with this. It's going to be great. Okay, let's get back to our project now that we've had some drawing time. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and take my rubber bands off. And now we're pretty good. And just kind of help it get across those boxes. And for this one, I'm just going to use, I just have some green twine. You can use a big ribbon, smaller twine. You can do this any way you like. Super cute. Kids going back to school to take one to teacher. And then you can also hang your tag right off of there. And I buried my paper, because we need our paper. The December daily, yes, I will be doing, and we'll be getting that December daily done actually pretty early. Now remember, December daily for 2022, for those of you new, it's done. We do it in, we'll start in January. We start in January because I don't like to spend my whole December being stressed out trying to create a December daily. So I do it a year in advance, and you can already see now there was 2 of them. And maybe we'll get those posted. We might be able to get some kits, but I don't know. I need to double check. We had kits for them last year with Santa's Little Helper and Dream of Christmas Dream. But we'll work on that. Tanya's really good. I want to take this Farm Fresh. And also welcome to our patch. And we're just going to quickly put this on our box. And then we're done. And you'll be able to create these. And I don't think, Annette, that you're watching, so I will send this to you so that you can recreate this video. I mean, these little boxes with your group. So I want to take this Farm Fresh. So with the 8x8 paper, isn't that really cute to use? These are just so cute to use as tags. And it's about fall. And welcome to our patch. So for this one, I would definitely put a backing on this if you're wanting to write on it, because you're not going to see if you're going to do a to or from. And so I won't do it now, but I would just do a backing, punch a hole, let's just do it. Let's just do it that way. I just didn't want it to hang too far. Tie your tag on. And then you can also take another one. We definitely need something that needs to be backed in brown. Don't look at, I will straighten it up better, but let's see, I would back it in a brown and also just have it hanging over the edge. Will look cute. And then you can put some, any decorations you want on the side. And then you've got a gift. It really is a quick gift. Of course, you know, they're quicker when you're not live, but you can use the cut aparts. The tags, 12 by 12, comes with these cut for you. And then these little ones you just fussy cut, or if you have a scan and cut, the borders were changed, so they do go through your scan and cut. But that is how you create a cute little K-cup holder, which is going to be so perfect for fall gifts, and you're going to want to have them on hand. Okay, super simple. If you want to just get everything cut out, because I left one so I could show you until you're ready to put them together. Just make a bunch of these. Okay. Just make a bunch of the holders, make a bunch of the boxes, then just put them in a folder and have them ready to go and decorate as you're going to be needing them. And that way you've got the bases done, and then you just have to do the matting with whatever paper and season you're excited about. So guys, I hope that you enjoyed recreating this with me. And now the video is not lost. It's on my YouTube, and it's in Scrapbookers of Country Craft Creations on our Facebook group. And if you're not a member of our Facebook group, you got to join us, because there's a lot of other things that go on that you guys, I don't put on YouTube. And our designers, whenever there's a new project, they pop it up on our Scrapbookers group, so you get first notice that their tutorials are going live. Have a wonderful Saturday, and I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.